Hello everyone, hi, how are you guys doing today? Welcome back to another episode reaction to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This is Haarute, my name is Matt. Hello, what's up? It's very late into the night. I have to record this right now because I'm behind on my recording schedule because life has been hard. I'm just gonna hit start. I'm just gonna watch the episode. Last time we got Baton Candy. There was candy and it was weird. It was a fun episode though. Faith wasn't in it, so who gives a shit? Let's watch this next episode. Sorry, I'm trying to speed run through this intro. Patreon, check out the Patreon, link in the description below, pop up on screen, it will help out a lot. You can watch early episodes, blah blah blah, you know, all that stuff. Let's begin. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season 3, Episode 7. Let's go.
Xander, why are you giving me a lap dance?
What, I just like you.
And that's very beautiful. I think it's great when two people...
Oh god, this is like way too obvious.
Why are you guys so hyper?
Yep.
You know, she's off by herself a lot more.
Well, this is also true. Everyone's having relationship issues.
When your last study killed half the class and then your rebound guy sends you a dumpagram, it makes a girl shy.
Did she tell us?
Tell you what? About your new boyfriend who we made up?
My man's shirt came off.
New Olympic category?
What do you think?
Sloppy.
Oh?
You telegraph punches, leave blind sides open, and for a school night slaying.
Who are you? A new watcher?
Gwendolyn Post. Mrs. Your new watcher.
Oh, she looks so stuck up. Let's see where this character goes. It has a lot of potential, but she could also just disappear within the same episode. We'll see. I was thinking about, I was told by one of my frequent commenters that apparently Faith is not in some episodes because the actress was underage, so they couldn't get her to record for as many hours as other people. I didn't know she was underage. She looks taller than me, given I am not a very tall person, but it's funny to think about. I was like, oh, she's definitely in her 20s. She looks older than me in some aspects. Do all watchers have to be British?
Yeah.
Is this part of the job?
This is the finest occult reference collection.
This side of the Atlantic, I'm sure.
Oh my god.
The labyrinth maps of Malta.
Man, she's such an asshole immediately.
I have been sent by the council for a very important reason. Faith needs a watcher. The fact is, there is talk in the council that you have become a bit too American.
Me?
Him?
Lagos seeks the glove of Minnigan. I thought we might kill him. I suggest
Sure.
2 slayers at full strength for a coordinated hunt. We believe the glove to be buried. And if anything in your books that might pinpoint the exact location of the tomb would be useful. But then we cannot ask for miracles.
I like how this scene is so dead. This character is not going to last long. Or she's going to change immediately. The character as we know it is not going to last long. Because that scene was terrible. But that was the point. I've never seen a scene so long without like a stupid joke or something. Hey, they're doing Tai Chi again. Yes, romantic Tai Chi. So we're going to talk about relationship again or?
What are we doing?
Training.
Good question.
It's just old habit. Bad habit to be broken.
Can we trust
Find
this
out who these
new
people
watcher
are.
lady?
It's-
Is she actually a watcher? Do we know anything about her?
My eyes are all blurry.
Oh god.
Stop.
Right.
Someone could just walk in. There we go.
Willow, Sander, you can stop your studying. I've got what I need.
Well, it doesn't seem like he saw, but he could have.
Eventually, I just had to face up to my destiny as a loser magnet. Now it's strictly get some, get gone. You can't trust guys. What about you?
You mean like me and guys me?
But I have stories. I mean, I've had my share of losers, but you point the undead.
It's still a little hard for me to talk about.
I'll try.
All of the angel issues are still kind of with me, so if you don't mind, I'd rather not.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay. What the fuck is that? That's the glove, isn't it? He's clearly searching for something. Right? Okay. This is why you need to share information. This is why you need to tell people. Sander wasn't told that Angel became good at the end. Also, well, Sander just hates Angel in general, right? But we'll see. Okay, there we go. Now he just sees us.
Oh god,
Buffy,
what am I doing?
I think I have what you're looking for.
Oh, he has the glove?
Glove of
I see.
minigun.
The world's ugliest fashion accessory.
Don't. Yeah.
Once you put it on, the glove can never be removed.
Mrs. Post, I can assure you that Buffy is both dedicated and industrious, and I am in complete control of my Slayer.
I don't know about that.
Giles! We have a big problem. It's Buffy.
I mean, every time someone says something like that, I'm waiting for like, okay, here's the comedic contrast.
Lagos is out of luck. I got the magic mitten thingy.
Better take a seat. Buffy.
Well, they're gonna think that she lied to them or something.
We know Angel is alive. Sander saw you with him. It would appear that you've been hiding him and that you lied to us.
Yeah.
Nobody's here to blame you, Buffy. But this is serious. You need help.
It's not what you think.
Hope not.
It's difficult to
I
explain.
think you're harboring a vicious killer.
Okay, yeah. They think that everything that happened last season was a lie. Okay.
He's better now.
Better for how long, Buffy?
Yeah, they don't know
Did
everything
you
that
even
we
think
know.
about that?
And she's not explaining anything.
I was going to tell you. I was. I didn't know why he came back. I just wanted to wait.
For what? For Angel to go psycho again the next time you give him a happy?
I'm not going to. We're not together like that.
But you were kissing him.
You are spying on me?
Hmm.
What gives you the right? It was wrong, okay? I know that, and I know that it can't happen again. I would never put you in any danger. If I thought for a second that Angel was gonna hurt anyone.
You would stop him. Like you did last time with Miss Calendar.
Buffy.
And leave us to clean up the mess.
You would just love an excuse to hurt him, wouldn't you?
I think lots of dead people actually constitutes a reason.
Right. This is all nobility. I mean, this has nothing to do with jealousy.
Call him out.
Hello?
That's enough. Everybody. Her actions, however ill-advised, can be understood. Priority right now is to retrieve the glove of Minigan and try to destroy it.
This is why you need to just talk, people. I understand why you don't, though, but
Thanks for the bail in there. I know this is a lot to absorb, but Angel did find the glove, and that was a
Quiet.
good...
I won't remind you that the fate of the world often lies with the Slayer. What would be the point? Nor shall I remind you that you've jeopardized the lives of all that you hold dear by harboring a known murderer. But sadly, I must remind you that Angel tortured me for pleasure. He should have told me he was alive. You didn't. You have no respect for me or the job I perform.
I mean, I get it. I get it, why he's upset and why they would be upset. They also don't know all the full story, and Buffy's not explaining anything.
A word of advice. Vampires rarely knock.
They did last time, I think.
I'm going to be very hard on you, Faith. I will not brook insolence or laziness. And I will not allow blunders like last night's attack. You will probably hate me a great deal of the time, but I will make you a better Slayer.
I have no concern for mental health.
God only knows what Mr. Giles has been filling your head with.
Giles is okay.
It's not important. Let him have his games and secret meetings.
What meetings?
Oh, I don't know. Something with Buffy and her friends.
Oh, right. I guess that doesn't include me.
Would you like to do some training?
It's in kicking, punching, stabbing.
Yes, that's the idea.
I'm your girl.
I mean, secrets aren't bad. You know, they're normal. They're better than normal. They're good. Secrets are good.
I'm hiding a secret right now.
Rough day.
Tell me about it.
Rather just shoot.
Don't think I don't know what you and your pals were talking about behind my back today. More about this glove deal than you're saying.
I took a hit at some real news. Angel's still alive.
The vampire.
Back in town. Saw him myself. Toting the popular and famous glove.
A guy like that kind of glove, could kill a whole mess of people.
Said the same thing to Buffy myself.
Buffy knew he was alive. I can't believe her. Yeah, well, I say we can't afford to find out. I say I deal with this problem right now. I say I slay.
Oh boy.
Can I come?
Of course you want to go. There's going to be an interesting discussion at the end of this episode. I can already tell.
I have the glove. Not actually on me, but I believe it's safe.
We must get to it. Immediately. I must say, Mr. Giles, good show.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't trust you.
I feel better.
Well, sure you do. This big burden's been lifted. And keeping secrets is a lot of work.
Willow?
Can I ask you a question? Did that make it feel, sexier somehow?
Oh god, this is how it's going for you?
It's too much pressure. After a while, it even makes the fun parts not so fun.
There's something I have to tell you.
Yeah, please tell her.
This will make me feel better, right?
You said so.
There's a demon behind you.
Okay. Sure. Oh, this is the guy. Ooh, he's strong. Strong boy. GG. Yes. We got a lot of like Willow reaction shots there. Anyway, what were you talking about?
I opened my SAT test booklet 5 minutes early.
Oh my God, it's Giles. Giles, can you hear me?
They're gonna think it's gonna be Angel or some stupid shit.
Thinking Buffy's ex-meat did this.
It's not Angel style.
The guy's a demon. How much more proof do you need?
Bite marks would be nice. Yeah, medical emergency. Faith, if we leave, Giles could die.
Yeah, he's gonna have a whole lot of company unless I do something permanent.
Wait!
Okay.
For what?
Damn it.
There's stuff about Faith that I wanna talk about.
What happened? No time for this.
Wait. Buffy, you must destroy the glove. Use living flame.
Move!
Go to the glove.
What happened?
Your boyfriend's not as cured as you thought.
Why would you say that?
So you just assume?
I didn't. Faith did.
What did you tell her?
Only what everyone knows. She's a big girl. Can't draw conclusions.
Faith definitely has a thing regarding her past relationships. She doesn't believe that Angel could be a good person or redeemed in any way. Like, this is definitely coming from a personal place, I think.
Gwen Post, Mr. Giles sent me.
Why would he send a random person? She's just gonna put on the glove and we're gonna have to defeat her or something. Of course. Okay. Man, Andrew's almost a funny character because every scene he's in, it feels like someone just gets him.
Okay. That hurt.
Oh my god, they're gonna come in here and they're gonna think that Angel is evil. Oh my fucking god, these idiots. Okay, let's see where this goes.
I can't believe how much I'm gonna kill you.
You're not getting that glove.
You wanna bet?
Jesus Slayer.
What?
I can't let you do it, Faith.
You're confused.
She doesn't know. She's blinded by love.
Trust me, this psychopath.
Faith, we can figure this out.
Like, the lady's gonna put on the glove while we're fighting. Okay, they're here. Oh my god! Why didn't Giles say it was her? I get it, he was hit in the head, so he was like a little bit delirious, so he only got out the only crucial information, but she's gonna put on the fucking glove. Yep. Where's Angel in all of this? Here we go. Birth of the ultimate being. What now? Okay, so she's just commands lightning now, I guess. Didn't bring weapons with us, just shoot her with a crossbow or something.
I'm getting that.
That's it! Get fucked. Die. Alright, that was cool as shit, I like that.
He saved me from a horrible flamey death that sort of makes me like him again.
He's not my boyfriend. Really, truly, he's... I don't know.
Are we cool?
Yeah. Seeing the two of you kissing after everything that happened, I leaned toward the postal. But I trust you.
I don't.
Okay.
Just for the record. Gwendolyn Post, not a watcher.
Yes, she was. She was, kicked out by the council.
She was in exile.
I swear there was a memo.
The whole angel thing is so weird.
I know, right?
Yes, well, we'll have to see how that unfolds, won't we?
Giles just like me when I'm watching an episode. He's like, we'll see where this goes. Then we can make an assessment on it. Okay, let's talk with Faith.
Well, you can't trust people. I should have learned that by now.
That's the wrong lesson to take, but okay.
You can trust me.
Is that right?
I know I kept secrets. I'm on your side.
I'm on my side, and that's enough.
Not always.
Is that it?
Buffy.
Nothing.
Okay. This is gonna be a while. It's gonna take a little bit. Gonna take a little bit for them to get closer. That's all for that episode. I enjoyed it. Okay, that was a very cool episode, actually. I really liked it. Episodes like this, I enjoy a lot. They are a pain to get through, but that's part of the emotion that they're trying to draw out of you, and that means it's effective. But okay, at the end of the episode, we can draw a very like clear, like almost like message, or not a message, but something that's gonna matter, that we can like grab and clearly look at it and understand what it's talking about, and also what that means to Faith as a character, which only makes me more excited about Faith, really, because the character of Faith, at least right now. So now she has made twice, in this episode and then in a different episode, I forgot which one, she has talked about how she doesn't trust men in general. She doesn't trust Buffy's ex or whatever. So I think that what this is going to be is that just Faith has had some experiences that left her in a situation where she just doesn't trust people, especially men. And she was talking about her ex-boyfriends or whatever, and she was like, nah, they were all losers and they fucked me over, so fuck them, right? She's talking about how now exclusively her relationships, and this wasn't something that mattered too much, like this was just said. I'm trying to find the scene. Where was it? I just had to face up my destiny as a loser magnet. Now it's strictly get some, get gone. You can't trust guys. So that's something she says, but that's a problem, right? Because that means that she has given up on the concept of intimacy, and she doesn't actively want to open up and get close to anyone on a more than physical manner, on something that's more emotional or meaningful even, which is what intimacy is. So now, and we see this in her character, even here at the end, where Buffy's like, you can trust me, and she's like, no. Like, it's gonna take a while for Faith to get to a point where she can trust people again. So she's definitely the type of character that was burned in the past, and now she doesn't really trust anyone, and it's difficult for her to just even grasp the concept of I can open up to people can open up to me. Because also, in the same episode here, she asks Buffy about the angel thing, and Buffy is like, I can't talk about it. And given Buffy's completely in her right to say, like, I don't feel comfortable talking about this because it's still very fresh, and even more so because we know what the situation is with Angel right now. But to Faith, that just sounds like, oh, she doesn't trust me enough to tell me. And like that's the thing about people and getting close to people and being intimate with people, is that the way you do so is by opening up and sharing and being honest with each other. The fact that Buffy's not telling Faith much means that to Faith, Buffy's not being close to her, which means that Faith cannot be close with Buffy in turn. So while Buffy's saying, you can trust me, realistically Buffy's not telling her a lot of things, or at least that's how Faith perceives it, so it's difficult for Faith to trust her. So this is gonna be a while. Like, this feels like Faith is gonna be a character it feels like Faith is gonna be a character that's gonna take a while for her to get close to anyone in the show. But like, we're gonna see the entire journey, and that's gonna be really cool. I really want that to happen. I really hope we can see that, and that's gonna be really cool. I like her character a lot, and I want to see more about her past. Like, I want for her to just tell me, because my favorite thing about Faith in the episode where she showed up is the moment that she like broke, when she faced with Kakistos or whatever, because she was freaking out about her fear that she saw her watcher dying or something. And like, the moment that she became very vulnerable is the moment that I was sold on the character, because that means that there's a character here who is trying really hard not to be vulnerable and trying to run away from that and never wanting to show that to people. But realistically, that's just a self-preservation thing. But she's still very much vulnerable because people in general are, especially those who have been damaged. Now I'm thinking about the fact that someone told me, and I try not to read comments, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't read many comments since like halfway through season 2, because I started to notice that like my experience reading comments kind of like directly affected my experience watching the show, and I think it's better for me to just not do that. So I kind of just gave up reading Buffy comments, but every now and then I'll check to see if there's like some nonsense happening, so I need to moderate the stuff or something. But I saw someone that basically pointed out that Faith mentioned, you hit weaker than my dead mom or something like that. And this person was essentially reading into the idea that maybe Faith was beaten by her mom or something like that, right? Like there was household abuse or something going on at her house and her mom beat her up or something. And that's what she meant. I mean, the way I took it is just, hey, my mom is dead and you hit worse than her who is dead and therefore doesn't hit anyone, right? I took that more as just something that's meant to be, hey, my mom is dead, rather than, hey, my mom abused me and hit me, you know? Like, I don't know if there's any merit to draw here from what that person pointed out, but it could be something that you could read on that. But more than that, I feel like more likely to happen if it was her dad, because she seems to definitely have a thing against dudes in general, just against guys, because she says it multiple times. And I think it's also like something that works into the episode, even if it's not something that's pointed out too much. I think it's something that's very clear, which is when it comes to the final like third of the episode, and it's revealed that Gwendolyn, I think that was her name. I think her name was Gwendolyn. So whenever Gwendolyn is revealed to be the bad guy, and she's like, "Fuck it, I just hit Giles in the head, and I'm gonna get the glove or whatever." Like, given nobody knows that this is happening, right? Only we, the audience, know that. And if you are watching out for this because you understand how this show goes, you can be like me and essentially just say she's gonna be a bad guy like 5 minutes into the episode. But we have that scene where they find Giles and he's on the floor unconscious and he was hit on the head. Xander is like, "Oh my god, we gotta call the ambulance." Xander's actually being the rational one for once, and he's essentially saying like, "Hey, we gotta help Giles, like, don't leave because I don't know, someone could come back in, like, we need to protect them, I need someone here with me." And Faith is like, "No, I'm gonna kill Angel." And she's essentially rationalizing to herself, Angel is the one that did this. And Xander is like, "I don't think it's him. It doesn't have bite marks or anything. Like, someone just hit him in the head." And Faith is like having none of it. Faith is just like, "No, it's Angel. I am 100% convinced by this." Because I'm guessing she was burned in the past by people close to her, maybe an ex-boyfriend or something. And she's thinking to herself, this is just what they do. Of course it's him. Who else could it be? It's always this guy's. And she is actually, in fact, placing her trust into her psychopathic watcher, who's a walking red flag, given she doesn't see the red flags as much as we do. I mean, I could be reading too much into it, but the fact that this watcher is a woman, I think also kind of goes into that aspect of Faith's character, which is she just doesn't trust men. And in this situation where the woman is clearly the bad guy and Angel is trying to help, she's defaulting to just, fuck, it's Angel. Fuck that guy. I'm gonna kill him, before trying to rationalize any other possibility. Given, it makes sense, right? It makes sense that when in that situation, knowing what she knows, that she would fight Angel and try to protect Gwendolyn, it does make sense. I'm not saying that it's irrational, but she's immediately assuming something instead of putting some thought into it, which, given in a situation where you have to fight someone, you don't have a lot of time to think. But that scene where she just immediately went just to kill Angel instead of waiting like 5 minutes and protecting Giles is definitely a thing of like, hey, everything kind of goes wrong. Instead, we had to have this whole boss fight thing happen, which by the way, I thought it was really cool. I like the idea of it's been 0 days since I mentioned Judge. I like the idea of her putting on the glove and channeling this power and just started shooting lightning and shit. And then Buffy just fucking chopped her arm off, which was really cool. I was thinking like, we need some kind of ranged weapon, and Buffy is like, no, it's like Star Platinum. She just throw a fucking piece of glass or something and that just slice her arm off. Sure, she can do that. She's really strong. So yeah, that did it. That worked. And then the lightning gods or whatever just got angry at her and just fucking disintegrated her. She could come back because I don't think she died a normal death, so she could like magically reappear as some kind of like whatever. I don't know. I'm just waiting for the bad guys to show up at this point. So she could come back in like 2 seasons as an avatar of lightning or some shit like that. But the glove was disposed of. That's cool. I'm guessing it was. I don't think we saw it be disposed of, but it was taken off, and it's interesting because like we made such a big deal of this glove, but then like nothing happened with it. It was just a villain that lasted like a minute, and then that was it. It was kind of like the mask in the Dead Man's Party episode, but I do like the concept. I do like the idea, because it reminds you of Battle Tendency. Because the Battle Tendency, there is a MacGuffin that the main villain needs to get in order to power up and become the ultimate life form. And I do like that that's kind of what happened this episode. But okay, so I think a main thing about this episode, I mean, now everyone knows about Angel, cool. It was very dramatic as to how they learn about it, but everyone knows. But I think it's really worth discussing how everyone reacted to this. This is something very interesting to me, because when I watched the other episodes in this season, like I watched like Dead Man's Party and like, what's the title of this episode? Let me check my channel real quick. The Beauty and the Beasts episode. And I don't know which one is the other one. I was told that basically I watched like most of the quote unquote bad episodes in season 3, and I liked all of them. And I was just sitting here like, I like those episodes. I don't know what anyone's talking about. Like, I like every single one of those episodes. Like, I really like the Beauty and the Beast episode for doing what it was doing. And I was surprised to see that like apparently not everyone felt that way about it. But I can imagine someone feeling that way. And now I'm thinking about this episode, which I enjoyed, and I'm thinking maybe someone would consider this episode an episode that wasn't as enjoyable, just because it is kind of like a Dead Man's Party, in the sense that in Dead Man's Party everyone is confronting Buffy about the fact that she ran away. And in this episode, everyone is confronting Buffy on the fact that she's keeping Angel a secret instead of telling anyone. You're hiding a known murderer and shit, you know? And like, and how I felt about Dead Man's Party is kind of how I feel about here, which is, if you're watching this and you're only in the shoes of Buffy, which you are, as the audience, you know everything that Buffy does know, and you understand the feelings that Buffy feels, because you the audience, you have the context, you know all of this. It makes it incredibly difficult to empathize with the other characters who don't have that. That's kind of how I feel about Dead Man's Party, is that I could understand Willow feeling that way, kind of betrayed, and everyone else also feeling betrayed, Joyce and Xander, well, fuck Xander, all my homies say to Xander, but everyone just feeling a specific way about Buffy leaving, and not telling anyone about anything. She didn't even call or something. I could kind of understand how they feel if I try to remove myself from the spot that I'm sitting in, and I try to think about what it would be like if I was them. Then I can get it. And then I'm like, okay, I understand this. This is fine. I don't mind it. This is kind of how I feel about it in this episode too, because in this episode we have full context about what the relationship between Buffy and Angel are, and how she feels, and how she's confused, and how it was weird that the fact that he left and then he weirdly came back or whatever. Like, we still have no clue how that happened, why that happened, but he's just here now. Okay, but if you were any of the other characters in the show, you would think to yourself, well, this is the guy that was, at one point he was good, but then he was evil, and then he killed people that we knew, and he tortured Giles, and we had like a whole thing. Then Buffy disappeared for I don't know how many months, like, well, it was like 3 months or something like that, I think. It was like the break. She just disappears, and then she comes back, and she's like, oh my god, guys, I feel so bad about Angel, I can't tell anyone about what happened. And then the next time we see her, she's making out with him. So, okay, if you have no idea what happened, because Buffy didn't want to tell anyone about what happened last season finale, then you would have no context about what the fuck the deal is with Angel, basically from the time he killed Miss Calendar. Like, he just killed Miss Calendar, and it's like, oh my god, we all hate Angel, he's such a bad guy. And then time skip, Buffy's not sharing anything, and then she's making out with him. And it's like, okay, what's going on here? Because when that scene, when they were all sitting at the table and being like, Buffy, take a seat, we need to talk, I was sitting here thinking like, they're making a really big deal out of this. And then I started thinking about it and I was like, well, they don't really know anything. To them, it's just going to be like Buffy lied. To them, it's just going to be like, Buffy's like, oh my God, guys, I killed Angel and I feel so bad about it. They're going to be like, it's okay, Buffy, we understand. And then she's actually secretly making out with him. So to them, it's almost like she's playing them. So yeah, if I put myself in their shoes, it kind of makes sense that they would feel like, yeah, okay, this is a fucked up. We need to kind of intervene here. So when I was watching that, and Giles had this scene where Buffy went to him and said, thank you for the bailout there. And Giles was like, you have no respect for what I'm doing here, who I am, because you keep hiding these things from me, right? And he explains like, Angel like tortured me for a pleasure. And you are just making out with him, and it's like it's I understand the weird complicated feelings here, but also you were tortured for like a couple hours, dude. At least I think so. I don't remember very clearly the season 2 finale, but I think it was just a couple hours, you know, like 12 hours maximum. I think he would be fine. I think you would get over it because he didn't get tortured in any meaningful way that we see like visible scars that like fucked him forever or something. And the real bad torture was the psychological torture making you see Jenny, but that was an Angel that did it. That was Drusilla. So I would have more of beef with her, I think. But I do understand that to everyone, because also Angel did kill Jenny, it would make sense for everyone to just have sour feelings about him, especially if they don't know the full story, which I feel like if Buffy just had sat down, calmed down, and she just started saying, okay, this is what happened, then everyone would be more understanding of the situation. But because she also didn't explain anything, then okay, it's a weird, dramatic, we're fighting, it's a soap opera thing. If anything, I can see people maybe having an issue with this. I don't know if they do, by the way. I just want to say, because I've been told that like there's a couple episodes that people don't like that much about this season, and apparently I've gotten through most of them and I didn't even know because I was having a good time. So I'm trying to figure out how people feel about this episode. So I'm really curious about it. In fact, I could just ask people right now. You guys won't know the answer because this is just going to be a poll that people are going to reply to me over the course of several hours. But let me just ask people, how do y'all feel about 3-7 Revelations? That would be nice. But okay, what else do I talk about with this episode? I mean, again, I like that. And I do like this drama because I like thinking about how everyone feels about something. I can see how it would be frustrating for the audience to watch, because we have Buffy context. We follow Buffy, so we are with her in a lot of what's happening. But it's very interesting to try and like think about, okay, how do the other characters feel with their limited understanding? Again, if anything, this is just like the one thing I can say is just whenever characters don't share or don't talk about something, I understand that they're feeling confused or they feel awkward and they don't want to bring something up, because I can also understand that they're all teenagers and they don't want to mention it. So like I was understanding of Buffy not telling people about Angel. Now that the secret is out, I almost feel like she purposely didn't tell anyone just because we needed to have like a weird plotline where everyone would get angry at Buffy and then they would try and kill Angel or something like that, and that's just going to be a thing for an episode. Given I didn't think it was bad, but I'm almost thinking that like the only reason why Buffy didn't tell someone, it was just because so we could have this plot this episode. Because otherwise, I'm just sitting here thinking like, just tell him. Just tell your friends. Like, I just went to this building and I just saw this dude and he was there. Like, they're your friends. You can trust them. That's the other thing. You can trust your friends. You should just tell them. And when the entire theme of this episode is about trust, and that's going to be the case, is that we're trying to get Faith to trust Buffy, or to trust anyone really, and that's just going to be a thing that's going to take a while. It is difficult when Buffy's not trusting her friends and telling them about the Angel situation. I understand she feels awkward about it, but I almost feel like the only reason why she didn't tell anyone about it was just so we could have drama this episode. So now I'm looking into the horizon, right? Now I'm looking into the future. And now I'm trying to figure out, okay, we have the drama regarding Willow and Xander. How is this gonna resolve? Like, what are we gonna do here? Where are we going? Because I'm just sitting here thinking, and I'm like, okay, are we gonna have another situation in an episode where we're not gonna tell anyone, this is just gonna continue to happen, and then people are gonna find out in the worst way imaginable, and then there's gonna be an entire episode drama about it, and then that's gonna have like big ramifications, maybe. That's just gonna suck to see. But if it's gonna have some kind of big ramification because it's a character relationship, then sure, I'll take it. But if it's just gonna be resolved immediately, then it's gonna be like, okay, it's drama for drama's sake, almost. But I don't think it will be. Because contrary to Angel, like, the character relationship between Willow and Xander, this is gonna last. Like, this feels like it will be lasting. But I can't really... Like, I've spoken about that relationship before. To me, it's weird. And it really is just weird. I don't know what direction the show wants to take it, because realistically the show wants to take that relationship many ways, right? It can be like, actually Xander and Willow are the real love, they are the real OTP, and the Oz and Cordelia thing is really just a fluke. It's them exploring and trying to come up with the real feelings, you know? It could go that direction if they wanted to. Realistically, what's happening is that they are being really shitty people to their real friends that they care about by not telling them. And what they should do is just tell. That's really interesting to me, because I don't think I mentioned this last week. I think I mentioned it in Chainsaw Man just briefly. I had a conversation with a friend recently who was in a very similar situation, and my advice was essentially just the exact same thing I'm saying right now. I've been saying this for like 3 weeks now, over and over, in and off camera. Just fucking tell him. Just tell him. Just fucking talk. Just be honest. You trust this person. You care about this person. Just tell him. Even if it's something that sucks to say, you should tell him. Because otherwise this is worse, right? You're removing their autonomy out of the equation. They don't know anything, and you're just being a shitty person at their expense. And you care about them, you like them, then just fucking say something about it. It sucks, right? This relationship is so whack. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, I can't know where the show wants to take it, and I don't want to say much unless I see where the show takes it. Because it could be anything. It could be like, okay, we just break up with Oz and Cordelia, and then Oz and Cordelia leave the show. Or they're gonna remain in the show, but then they get together or something, right? Like, maybe Willow and Xander are gonna they're gonna realize that this is bad, and they're gonna stop doing it, and they're just gonna go back to their original partners, and they're never gonna tell anyone about it. We could have like Oz or Cordelia die tragically, and then it becomes an even like extra twist of the knife, the fact that we've been cheating on this person for I don't know how many episodes, and then they died, and it's like, man, that fucking sucks. Like, I don't know where the show wants to take it. Like, I have no fucking clue what this relationship plot point is like and where it's going. Because it's also always weird that, like, every scene we get with Willow and Xander just kissing, it does have this, like, scoring that's, like, romantic music, like slow romantic music. Like, it feels like Tommy Wiseau scored those scenes, and I'm sitting here thinking, this is a cheating scene. This is the cuckoldry. Like, it shouldn't be scored like this. It should be like, oh man, what are they doing? And instead it's like, oh my god, look at them in love. And I'm sitting here like, well, if they are in love, then fucking talk about it. Right? Face it. Be upfront about it. Like, where are we going? Instead, we are dragging this out, and I have no clue where it's gonna go. And I'm sorry, I'm just repeating myself at this point. This has just been going for many weeks, and every episode they make such a big deal out of it. And I get it, they have to do it, right? They have to make a big deal out of it in order for it to not be sudden whenever they do want to use it for the main thing in an episode. However, I'm just waiting for it to happen because I need to know where it goes, because every episode I'm just sitting here talking and being like, man, what the fuck? The character of Gwendolyn is interesting to me because when she showed up, Like the immediate first scene when she showed up, I was like, oh cool, we got a new watcher in town, and she seems like such a stuck up. So I'm sitting here thinking, oh, she's gonna be a fun contrast to Faith, because Faith is such a loose cannon. She's such a rebel. She has problems with authority. She's a bad girl. And then this lady shows up, and she's not. She's a stick in the mud. So I'm sitting here thinking, okay, that's gonna be a fun dynamic. But then we saw I think it was the first scene after the credits, the opening credits. Yeah, I think it was the first scene after the opening credits, where Gwendolyn is just talking about the glove, and she's belittling everyone, and she's just saying so many things. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, man, we've never had a scene in this show go this long without someone making like a funny comment or a snarky remark or like a weird weedism, where someone uses a word that's it's not really the word, it's just like a replacement for the word. It's like, oh, I'm grabbing the AC thingy in order to change the hot level, like whatever. It's like, no, it's the remote for the temperature, right? Like that's what it feels like. And it's like, when I was watching that scene, I was just sitting here thinking, like, man, this character is not gonna last more than one episode. She's gonna either be bad or she's gonna fucking die, like one or the other, because this character is not lasting more than one episode, because man, she's boring as shit, because nobody interrupts her while she's talking. So I'm just sitting here thinking, like, okay, we can't do this for more than one episode. Okay, something I want to talk about regarding Faith, and the reason why Faith was also so easy to manipulate, I think, by Gwendolyn. I mean, it's not that she's in the wrong for trusting Gwendolyn more than she's trusting Angel. Well, I guess maybe a little bit, because Buffy is saying, no, Angel is good, but Gwendolyn is someone that showed up like literally 2 days ago. But I really like this scene where Gwendolyn goes to Faith's house and talks about it very, very Spartan or whatever. So they start talking about this, and Gwendolyn does successfully like pin Faith against everyone else on some level, which is by saying Giles and his dumb secret meetings or whatever. And Faith is sitting here thinking, like, what are you talking about? And Gwendolyn is like, oh, well, they're all meeting together, Buffy and her friends, to talk about something. And Faith is like, oh, okay, sure. They all got together to talk about something and I wasn't invited. She even mentions, I guess that meeting was just for Buffy's friends, which I guess I'm not. That's what she says. Then Gwendolyn says, hey, you want to go train together? And I noticed it as it was happening, but it's worth pointing out this is essentially Gwendolyn saying, like, oh, you don't have any friends. They are talking behind your back. They're all doing their stuff together and they didn't invite you. You want to come with me? And Faith is like, sure. Like, I feel lonely now that I know that all of these people don't want to hang out with me, and then you're offering me something to do, then sure, I'll go with you. So it makes sense that she would trust Gwendolyn more than she trusts Angel, or Buffy in this case, because that's ultimately what this is kind of like, is that she's trusting Gwendolyn more than Buffy, because Buffy's vouching for Angel, but she's not hanging out with Buffy's friends. She's not a friend of Buffy. She doesn't consider herself to be one. But Gwendolyn was like, hey, let's go hang out like an afternoon together. And Faith was like, cool, let's do it. So of course, yeah, someone is bonding with Faith, and it was the bad guy. And the bad guy also successfully pinned Faith against everyone else by making her think that they don't like her. And this becomes very, very, very apparent in the scene where Xander is at the Bronze and he's just playing pool. And Faith says, don't think I don't know what you and your pals were talking about behind my back. Okay, it's very easy to miss, because that's not something that is like it's being followed through on. You miss it and then the episode keeps going. But that line implies that Faith immediately thought about, oh, they're talking shit about me. This is very much like a teenage thing, but it's relatable. It's the fact that she's thinking about, okay, everyone got together and they're having a meeting or whatever. They're talking about something, but I wasn't invited. So like, okay, they have to be talking about me then. And they'll probably have to say something negative, because otherwise they say it to my fucking face. So, okay, I don't trust any of them. Fuck them, right? This is what she's thinking. Instead, she comes back and she's being told, actually, it's about Angel. And then she's like, oh, okay, cool, you weren't talking about me. But then, oh fuck, it's the Angel thing. Buffy was lying. So now she doesn't trust Buffy. Like, okay. Like, Faith is a very interesting character. I want to see where she's going to go. I mean, I can already see that she's gonna slowly grow closer to people and start trusting people once more, hopefully. I say once more, maybe she never did. I don't know what her past is. I want to see what her past is. That's what I want to see. But I also want to see her journey. I want to see her destination. I want to see her getting closer to people and trusting them. But I like that this is the point of the character right now. And I like that this wasn't something that was resolved in the same episode. Like, it wasn't even the main focus until it became very clear later on, like halfway into the episode, that that's something that's going to be a thing for Faith. But it makes sense if you pay attention to some of the stuff that she's been saying before. And again, I want to bring up the male thing. Like, she specifically mentions that she doesn't trust men. So this might be something tied to her past. I don't know. But we'll see how this goes. With Faith, but I do like this. I do like the idea of a character that's like so distrustful of the world, but we can see this character grow and become closer to the other characters because they learn to have a family, right? It's like a found family thing. I like that. I like that idea. I want to see it explore with Faith, and I hope this is the direction we're going to go, and that's going to be a lot of fun if that's the case. What can I say? I like Berserk. Berserk is good, man. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for this episode reaction to Buffy. I don't know if there's anything else I can talk about. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Buffy. See you next week. And alright everyone, thank you so much for watching this episode reaction to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. If you would like to watch the next 2 episode reactions, as well as full-length reactions, you can already do so over at the Patreon. Check out the link in the description below, social media, all sorts of cool stuff that I do, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care everybody. Bye bye.